to brag. It's really not in my nature, but standing before you now is a completely self-taught, highly skilled, I'd go as far as to say world-class failure. If there was an international league of failures, I would be right at the very top, or at the very bottom. I'm not really sure how that would work. Basically, I'm just really, really good at doing badly. You're probably wondering how a person can possibly fail at skinny dipping. It seems pretty basic, right? But when you are so terrified of water that you instantly drop your bikini and have to chase it all the way back up the beach, it's hard to call it a successful venture. Just to be clear, before we go any further, I am not here today asking you to just give up trying and give way to failure. Not at all. Please don't think that's my message. In fact, quite the opposite. I try really, really hard at everything I do. I just happen to be really good at failing. And that's not something that everyone in this room is going to be able to master. I'm really sorry to say that. Some of you are just going to keep trying and trying and trying your absolute best, and you are just going to keep succeeding. But please don't worry, that's okay. We're not all going to be naturals. In fact, even I didn't always accept my real talent for failing. For a long time, like any good superhero, I struggled to accept my destiny, and I was so terrified of failing that eventually I kind of just stopped living. My world became smaller and smaller as bit by bit I cut out everything that could possibly scare me or that I could potentially fail at, until after 30 years of chronic social anxiety, depression and panic attacks, I could barely even leave my own house. Now, I was at this point so frightened of being seen to be failing as an adult that I stopped giving myself the opportunity to succeed at it. But then I started. I decided at one of my lowest points, when nothing else was working and no one else could help me, that I was going to give myself one chance to trust myself and to see if I could stop existing with anxiety and start living with it instead. So I started to challenge myself and face my fears and terrify myself pretty much every day, as much as possible. And in doing so, not only did I build myself this brand new life, I also started to accept my very own superpower. So I tried things like learning to cycle badly. This was after about 6 months of cycling lessons. I became a rally driver's navigator, but I was so bad at map reading that I got as lost twice on the way to the start line. I even tried being a human catapult for a day, I don't know why either, and I accidentally let go of the ropes and I gave myself weeks of whiplash. Most recently, I overcame a lifelong phobia of water. I took 5 years of swimming lessons. I scraped together enough sponsorship money to buy a boat. I put together a 4-person support team, and I set off to become the first person to ever swim the whole way around the coast of mainland Britain. I don't think I have to tell you how that one went. Yeah, you've got the gist by now. But failing the swim was the best thing that could have happened to me. All that time, I was so scared of failing, letting it control and restrict my life. And now, here I was, failing on this huge scale, in front of everyone that I knew. And do you know what happened? Absolutely nothing. The world didn't crumble around me. Nobody cared. Learning to fail on my own terms was so very freeing. Okay, picking up the 4 world records for finishing this one would have been lovely, but the lesson was good enough. Because now, every time that something goes wrong in life, I can ask myself, is it as bad as having to pee in my own wetsuit for 4 hours a day, not constantly, there's no problem, or having panic attacks as 15-feet waves slap me in the face? Most of the time, it isn't that bad. Now, I can't teach you in 10 minutes how to fail quite as successfully as I have, which probably means that I can add this top to my list of failures. But what I can hopefully give you is a willingness to accept failure, maybe even to welcome it if it ever crops up in your life. When I was little and my parents brought out the measuring tape, I was always really hopeful. I wasn't hopeful that I would suddenly be taller than my older sister or than the next door neighbour's kid. I was just hopeful that maybe I might be even a millimetre taller than I had been the month before or the week before that. At some point round about adolescence, I think someone switched out the measuring tape, and suddenly I felt that I had to be taller or smarter or funnier than everyone else around me. I stopped comparing to my own yesterdays and started to compare myself to everyone else's instead. Of course, nobody touched that measuring tape. I just started to interpret the numbers differently, and I think we all do it. At some stage, we all start to aim ourselves towards societal averages, but I don't want to be average, and I'm pretty sure that you don't either. Nowadays, I am bringing down societal averages all over the place. You're welcome. But I'm still bringing my own up. Look at Mary Poppins. When she was measured, it didn't say, not quite as practically perfect as that girl you went to high school with. She brought her own measuring tape to the party. And that's what we should all be doing. Because it's the only comparison that matters. It's the only one that has any meaning. And it's the only one that we'll ever be able to live up to, or in my case, live down to. As long as we are growing from an experience, be that through success or through failure, we're still heading in the right direction. For a long time, I fell into the same trap as so many other people that I will fall into, of only trying things that I knew that I could do well at, that I knew that I could succeed at. So that meant that I could go to university and I could get my degree because I was quite bookish and I knew that if I just got my head down and focused, I could probably scrape past. But had you asked me to try a new sport or join a new club, well, there was just no way. Because for me at that time, trying was only an opportunity to fail and to be seen to be failing and judged for failing by everyone around me. But I wanted to be seen to be good at things, so was it not better just to not bother trying? Nowadays, I try new things constantly, meaning that every single day I am the worst in the room at something. And it is so good for me. Because now, instead of seeing these as opportunities to fail or to be judged, I see them for what they are, opportunities to develop. Because every single person in that room or in that cage knows something that I don't know yet. And I'll be damned if I don't learn from every single one of them. focusing on trying to be the best at everything, we miss out on the opportunities to be the worst. And those are the times when we have the most space to grow. How many of us are just waiting? Waiting for life to start, waiting to be fitter or happier, or waiting to get that better job. For me, it was always waiting to be well before my life could start. So once the doctors had fixed my anxiety, or that magical cure had somehow presented itself to me, that's when I would go out and I would do all those things that I really wanted to do, and I'd start to be the person that I wanted to be. If I had kept waiting, I'd be no further forward. I'd still be stuck at home, unable to get outside, or worse. Instead, at some point, I had to just stop waiting, get up, get out, and get started. At some point, I had to just forget that I was terrified of everything and just keep going. Planning is great. Planning is essential. It's something that we all need to do, and I'm not telling you to not do it. But when it keeps you endlessly waiting and it stops you from moving forward, it has to change. Because there are some things in life that we just can't plan for. And I'm afraid that living, that's one of them. I wasn't ready to move on, I wasn't prepared. I had to just get out and do it. The only reason that I can stand in front of you today, and trust me, it's really, really scary up here, is because I know that even if it all goes wrong and you don't laugh in all the right places, you're doing great so far, thank you, my world won't end. That's one of the best things that you can equip yourself with. It's the ability to cope when things don't go according to plan. Sure, if this all goes wrong, I'll be disappointed. But I've been disappointed before. I should have 4 world records from that swim. Did I mention that? I mentioned it, didn't I? Instead, I have a photo of a boat and a cupboard full of wetsuits that smell of my own pee. But I survived. Failure can change your life, and it can change it for the better if you let it. So stop waiting for the right time to go out and succeed, because there isn't a right time. There's only this time, right now. So go out and just start. Thank you for listening.